Lovely, there we go. Right, and I'm going to just switch the view. Oh, hold on 1 second. That's fine. Anyway, right. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to the lovely Roz, and I'm going to be her prop man as well as we go. All right, Roz, you ready?
Yeah. Hi. This is just a little recap or an introduction for those who didn't get the training on the visual shape coding that is encouraged to be used with kids with SEN. Really, what it is just a prompt for kids to help them associate the written word and the spoken word with a shape. And so it's not so quickly lost. Words are spoken and then they're lost in the air. So they came up with this idea of using shapes to describe different parts of a sentence, how words are made up to make a sentence. And that's how I wanted to show you how I use them. So I'm going to show you the basic shapes that kind of make up the basic parts of a sentence, and some of you already will know this, but the first shape is the who. So that's usually an orange oval. We'll just talk about the orange one right now. That's the subject of the sentence, and that is usually the orange oval. If we're talking about the subject being sort of an inanimate thing, like a box, then we'd be using the green oval if that was the subject. But anyway, we'll just keep with the orange oval. So that would be the subject. And then what we've got is the verb, the next part. So children learn names, and then they'd start to put verbs with the names. So, you know, mummy does, mummy cries. So we've got the subject, and then we've got the doing word, so which is the verbs, and then doing what. So you know, baby wants an apple, right? Baby wants an apple. So, you know, that's how kids develop their speech, their sentence structure. And then there are some more shapes here where we've got a descriptive shape, which is, I hope you can see this, is the cloud. And those are descriptive words like what something feels like, looks like, they're like your adjectives, adverbs. So baby wants red apple, baby wants a red apple. So that's kind of like how the building blocks of syntax or sentence structure. And we've also got a shape that's like this, which is a where. So what I thought, there's other shapes as well, but this is just the basics. And I thought what I'd do is show you how I use it quickly in an intervention I have with 3 boys that are in middle school. So if I show you this picture, if I show you this here, we've got a laminated bus, and I'm assuming that I have checked already that the kids know the names of the animals, because that would be obviously an important thing to do. So I checked their understanding. Can they select, you know, the rabbit from a sheep? Once I can, what I'm really working on here is the attributes. Can they tell the difference, the concept development, which is, you know, big and little. So, and I use it in like a barrier game. So I might have two kids, and we take off the animals. And if I was working with, let me see, here's my, oh yeah. So so I'm working with a little boy, Freddie, and if Nathan was going to give Freddie an instruction where to put the horse on the bus, so we would have Freddie, Nathan might say then Freddie, and then the verb would be, here's the, talking about this. Here we've got put, where's the put? So I don't know if you can see this. So we've got Freddie. So I might be, yeah. Does that make sense? So you've got put there, Freddie here, put, and then what are we going to put on? We're going to put on, he's selected whatever it is he's selected, say it's the cat, but we've got a big and a little cat. So I would then have, make sure that Freddie knows that he knows which one he's picking, big or small. So I've got the visual, as you can see, we need a lot of visuals, a big and small. Can he match? Does he know what big and small are? So he chooses the cat that he wants, and then I make sure that he's got the correct visual for it. So we've got like Freddie put, so Nathan might say Freddie put the big cat, and where does he want to put the cat? And the cat would be on the bus, right? So that is how I use it in a simple barrier game, and so that's one of the examples I use it. Now I can make it a little bit more difficult. So if Nathan is just asking Freddie to put the cat on the bus, here's the cat, you know, put the sheep on the bus. It's quite simple. All he's got is the bus, and he's got to identify the sheep. So it's just really one information carrying word he's got to understand. But if I want to make it a little bit more challenging, I'm adding in the big and little concept. So the idea is he is learning to understand a longer, more complex sentence, with the hope that he will, eventually express some of those sentences. So he will need to therefore know the difference between big and little. So that's on the bus. And if I want to make it even more complicated, a little bit more complicated, which we do, where it is, Nathan might say, Freddie put the big sheep on the bus, then that's 3 information carrying words, because I've put the train there as well. So he's got to make sure he's, choosing the bus over the train. And you can just build it up to make it even, more complex. Top of the bus, bottom of the bus. So that's kind of how I use it in that little activity. The other thing I do is with them is I've got a photograph here of the boys. This is Nathan from Lacewings, and he's climbing outside up the ropes, and I bring in the blanks. This is how I do this. I take photographs of them doing things, and then I think of figuring out what blank levels they're at. So Nathan's around blank levels 2, going on to maybe needing to sequence around. So I therefore check his work on asking him questions are related to his blanks. Now, first of all, here I use the shape coding to help him say if I say so this is a picture of Nathan, and I might say to one of the boys, okay, Freddie, what's Nathan doing? So he therefore has to, it's really sorry about this. So I would have the who shape here, and then he would select between Nathan and Ryan, who's also in the group, and then he would have Nathan's name. So Nathan, the diamond, don't worry about that, I've got that in. Then we'd have the shape, which is the hexagon, the doing, what is he doing? He's climbing, and often I'll have another one there to just make sure he knows the difference between climbing, saying sitting, Freddie does, climbing, and the little joining word the, and where's he climbing? He's climbing on the ropes. Actually, that's the object on what's he climbing on. He's climbing on the ropes, so that would be the green rectangle. And then where is he? You can add that on. Where is he? He's outside. He's outside. So therefore, I would then be doing things like, what's Nathan doing, Freddie? What's Nathan doing? Nathan is climbing. Where is he climbing? Where is he climbing? He's climbing outside. What's he climbing on? He's climbing on the ropes. And who is this? So it's Nathan. So that's kind of like how I use it with the boys there. Another little activity I've done with them, we're doing, they like stories, and so we're reading together stories. Once upon a time there were 3 little pigs. They all read this together now. I mean, they're pointing their fingers on it and filling, depending on their level, filling out. Freddie, for example, fills out the last couple. He identifies some of the words. But after each page, what I do is, before I move on to the next page, I ask questions. So I say, for example, first line, once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs, and there's a how. You know, you can use the shape for how. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here. There's a shape for how. Oh, here it is here. You know, how many pigs were there? And you can put it under the, oh, there were 3 pigs. And they lived with their mother and father, and you could say who lived with their mother and father. So I bring in the blanks into my sessions, and generally what I do is when I'm working with kids, I like to figure out what levels they are, blanks levels, and then when I'm preparing sessions, I try to bring in the appropriate questions. So that's really just a little recap. If you need anything, please ask. I've made quite a lot of those cards, because for me it helps me in the session. So each child will have the blank level they're at next to them, or I'll have them, so I can be clear when I'm asking a question that I'm asking at the right level for that child. And one caveat, which I think is really important, I hadn't thought of actually, but Hazel had reminded me of this. When you're teaching with blanks, when you're teaching a completely new concept or a new vocabulary word, that you have to go back right to blank level 1. You know, you have to make sure that they can name it. They can select it, they can understand the difference between point, show, give me, and they can find another one they can match and categorize that thing before you move on to the next blank level, if it's a completely new concept or word you're teaching. So that's it. Thank you very much. Short and sweet, but if you have any questions, you know where I am. Thank you.